Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
On behalf of MX Business Media, and especially on behalf of Jindal Steel and Power, Tata Structura and Everest Industries, and of course Richa Industries, we welcome you all to Steel Construction Summit, Delhi. This is the second year we are in Delhi, and the response has been phenomenal in terms of the attendance. Last year, the number of attendees are more. So I'm sure the steel construction, there is definitely a certain amount of interest. And what I'm today going to talk about is briefly what is happening across India. I can talk in length for half an hour if I talk about international project, but I'll be very specific to India because our designers, our consultants, they are going ahead with steel, talking about what could be done, and they are sharing their experiences today. I think it will be a fantastic experience whole day. So in fact, I'll take you briefly through steel journey and talk about what is happening across India, in the recent 1.5 year. This is something interesting which is coming up in Noida, which is very close to your city. In fact, this project is out and out steel. Commercial domain is one where steel is very popular. So this is another project which has recently designed and going to come up in Bangalore. Something in Bombay. Now these are the projects where steel is already dominant. People are experimenting with design. People are taking up some outstanding, challenging jobs in terms of execution and design. So this is another project, commercial project coming up in Greater Noida. Ahmedabad, even B cities are not lacking in terms of steel designs. So there are some interesting projects in B cities also. This used to be a typical PEB building which has changed its phase. So we see some interesting design in terms of pre-engineered buildings also. And we are going taller in pre-engineered. This is a 7-story pre-engineered building which is in Bangalore, a pharma company, where, rather than making a single or double story, we have gone till 7-story in terms of PEB. Magnitude, we are today able to execute, length and breadth, we can execute a bigger project with ease. Stadiums have always been a popular choice. Steel has always been a popular choice. So there are some interesting stadiums which are coming across. Convention center, more than 15 convention center has came up in steel. This is something which is coming up in Patna, which has a fantastic design of a mudra, yoga mudra. So this is one project which we will look forward to once it's executed. Station structures, FOBs, green buildings. In fact, this is one of the green certified buildings in Gurgaon, which has been done with steel. So if you're thinking, if you're wanting to use steel, of course, steel is the greenest material. Power plants, in fact, heavy structure steel always been the favorite. Now, this is something which we already done, we are comfortable doing. Now, let me tell you something, what we are going to do as an industry, as an interest. There are some areas which are opening up with steel. So probably which are those areas? Hospitals. In fact, we have already executed 2 hospitals with steel, and in near future, we are going to do some more hospitals. Already 3 are in design phase. This is again, which is steel. Some special structures where we are, keeping steel exposed, which looks very elegant. Hotels. In fact, most of the hotels earlier used to be concrete. Now, this is something interesting, which the core is concrete, but the remaining structure is steel, which was being prefabricated and assembled at the site. So this is what we have achieved. Restaurants. See how steel is being exposed and yet it looks elegant. Residential. This was one of the very challenging area for steel. We never thought residential buildings can come up in steel, especially high-rise residential. But today we have 2 projects in Bombay where we are using steel in residential. Some lounges, Villas, of course, the private villas are coming up with steel. Another interesting application of steel, if you see, this is a regular toll booth which we have seen, but this is something interesting, self-sustaining solar power toll booths, which are, you know, very fantastically designed in steel. This is a technology which has an immense future in India. In Delhi itself, today we have 30 projects which are being coming out of light gauge construction. A lot of hospitals, a lot of institutional buildings in Delhi, even the mass housing projects in Delhi are going to, you know, executed using light gauge. Already this technology is catching up. So residential also we have done some interesting project, commercial, hotels. So light gauge is one area which is opening up with steel, where we are going to see a lot of projects which are going to come up. Now talking a little bit more about what activity we do where we require your support, your involvement. We come up with a coffee table book every year which talks about 25 top steel projects. So what I request you, please come forward, share your projects so that we can feature it in the coffee table book. Me and Steel. In fact, this is one platform where industry comes together and share their steel experiences. So if you see, everybody talks about one of its favorite project and they talk about what were the challenges to execute the project, how they have done. So this is something that we do. And finally, SCS, Steel Construction Summit, is the third initiative that we took, which caught up like anything. In fact, in last year, we did 4 conferences in 4 different cities, getting more than 600 delegates in a year. So we had almost 45 speakers, 28 panelists. We had more than 13 sessions and 600 plus attendees. This is the biggest event that we have done so far, Steel Day. In fact, it had in Bombay, we did it with more than 250 attendees, to be specific, 262. And these are the eminent speakers that we had in Bombay. So this is by far the largest gathering of steel professionals. In fact, we had more than 30 speakers. There were elaborative sessions and exciting discussion in Bombay. And again, we are coming up with the Steel Day on September. This is the audience. Now we started a small initiative which caught up like anything. In fact, whatever knowledge has been shared regarding steel construction, we are putting that in a YouTube channel called Steel Construction Summit. In fact, we got 600 attendance, but we got more than 6,500 views on this YouTube channel. Now, people across the domain are looking at steel construction. So my only request is subscribe to the channel, and whenever we upload, because in the next phase, even the interviews are going to go in a video format. So please subscribe the channel. We are going to put the interviews, all the discussion on this YouTube channel, which you can look whenever you have time. Even if you miss any of our event in Chennai or maybe Bangalore or Bombay, you can view the presentation through this YouTube channel. What's exciting in 2016 from us? Of course, the coffee table book that we do, Me and Steel issue that we have already done, and Steel Day that we are doing on 28th of September. Most importantly, this year, what we are doing is knowledge series. In fact, we see that our young brigade are not very comfortable with steel. Now, to fill in that gap and to make them more aware about what is happening across India in terms of steel construction, we have started with this knowledge series. We call it Steel Unplugged, wherein we are going to institutes and going to talk about steel construction, wherein a designer will talk about a steel design. We are going to have a consultant who are going to talk about structural engineering. And again, we have some technology company coming in. So we have the first on 1st of August at Sir J.J. College of Architecture in Bombay. And we are going to do at least 6 of them each year. So this is something interesting that we are doing this year. Again, second most interesting is Steel Day, which we are coming up in 28th of September. And this is a special initiative that we have started this year. Anybody who is designing anything in steel or want to explore something in steel, we probably would love to invite them as our guest for Steel Day. So probably anybody in your knowledge, if he is doing steel, we'll be more than keen to invite him as a guest to understand more about steel and talk about steel construction. Another initiative this year is a site and plant visit. So in case if you want to see how steel is constructed at site or how steel is fabricated in plant, we are also organizing plant visit and site visit. So if you are excited to know how steel is getting constructed, how it is getting fabricated, probably just send in your request and we'll arrange a site or a plant visit for you. Last but not the least, today is a very important day, and in fact for Delhi, we are going to have a lot of good experts who are going to talk about their steel experiences. So I'm sure by evening, you'll get a new perspective in terms of steel, a new benchmark what we have achieved so far, and it will be a knowledgeable day for you. With these few words, thank you so much, and I welcome you all for this one-day seminar on steel construction in Delhi. Thanks a lot.